Czechia Republic, Czech Republic. Czechia Republic is a country in Central Europe bordered by Poland to the northeast, Slovakia to the southeast, Austria to the south, and Germany to the west. The Czechia Republic is a landlocked country with a hilly landscape that covers an area of 78,866 square kilometers, 30,450 square miles, with a mostly temperate continental climate and oceanic climate. It is a unitary parliamentary republic, with 10.7 million inhabitants. Its capital and largest city is Prague, with 1.3 million residents. Other major cities are Brno, Ostrava, Olomouc and Pilsen. The Czechia Republic includes the historical territories of Bohemia, Moravia, and Czechia Silesia. The Czechia state was formed in the late 9th century as the Duchy of Bohemia under the Great Moravian Empire. In 1002, the duchy was formally recognized as an imperial state of the Holy Roman Empire along with the Kingdom of Germany, the Kingdom of Burgundy, the Kingdom of Italy, and became the Kingdom of Bohemia in 1198, reaching its greatest territorial extent in the 14th century. Prague was the imperial seat in periods between the 14th and 17th century. The Protestant Bohemian Reformation of the 15th century led to the Hussite Wars, the first of many conflicts with the Catholic Church. Following the Battle of Mohacs in 1526, the whole crown of Bohemia was gradually integrated into the Habsburg monarchy. The Protestant Bohemian Revolt 1618–20 against the Catholic Habsburgs led to the 30 Years' War. After the Battle of the White Mountain, the Habsburgs consolidated their rule, eradicated Protestantism, reimposed Catholicism, and adopted a policy of gradual Germanization. This contributed to anti-Habsburg sentiment and resentment of the Catholic Church that continues to this day. With the dissolution of the Holy Roman Empire in 1806, the Bohemian Kingdom became part of the Austrian Empire 1804–1867, and the Czechia language experienced a revival as a consequence of widespread Romantic nationalism. In the 19th century, the Czechia lands became the industrial powerhouse of the monarchy and were subsequently the core of the First Czechoslovak Republic, which was formed in 1918 following the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire after World War I. Czechoslovakia was the only democracy in Central Europe during the interwar period, after the May coup in Poland, in 1926. However, parts of the country were occupied by Germany in World War II, while the Slovak region became a German puppet state. Czechoslovakia was liberated in 1945 by the Soviet Union and the United States. Most of the German-speaking minority were expelled following the war. The Communist Party of Czechoslovakia won the 1946 elections and after the 1948 coup d'état established a one-party communist state under Soviet influence. Increasing dissatisfaction with the regime culminated in 1968 to the reform movement known as the Prague Spring, which ended in a Soviet-led invasion. Czechoslovakia remained occupied until the 1989 Velvet Revolution, which peacefully ended communist rule and re-established democracy and a market economy. On 1 January 1993, Czechoslovakia peacefully dissolved, with its constituent states becoming the independent states of the Czechia Republic and Slovakia. The Czechia Republic is a developed country with an advanced, high-income social market economy. It is a welfare state with a European social model, universal health care, and tuition-free university education. It ranks 13th in the UN Inequality-Adjusted Human Development and 14th in the World Bank Human Capital Index ahead of countries such as the United States, the United Kingdom and France. It ranks as the 11th safest and most peaceful country and performs strongly in democratic governance. The Czechia Republic joined NATO in 1999 and the European Union (EU) in 2004. It is also a member of the OECD, the United Nations, the OSCE, and the Council of Europe. Etymology of Czechia Republic. The traditional English name, Bohemia, derives from Latin Boiohymum, which means home of the Boy Gallic tribe. The current English name comes from the Polish ethnonym associated with the area, which ultimately comes from the Czechia word Czech. The name comes from the Slavic tribe and, according to legend, their leader Czech, who brought them to Bohemia, to settle on Rip Mountain. The etymology of the word Czech can be traced back to the Proto-Slavic root cell, meaning member of the people, kinsman, thus making it cognate to the Czechia word Člověk, a person. The country has been traditionally divided into three lands, namely Bohemia Sieci in the west, Moravia Morava in the east, and Czechia Silesia Slezsko, the smaller, southeastern part of historical Silesia, most of which is located within modern Poland, in the northeast. Known as the lands of the Bohemian Crown since the 14th century, a number of other names for the country have been used, including Czechia, Bohemian lands, Bohemian Crown, CZECHIA and the lands of the Crown of St. Wenceslas. When the country regained its independence after the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1918, the new name of Czechoslovakia was coined to reflect the union of the Czechia and Slovak nations within the one country. After Czechoslovakia dissolved in 1992, the new Czechia state lacked a common English short name. The Czechia Ministry of Foreign Affairs recommended the English name CZECHIA in 1993, and the Czechia government approved CZECHIA as the official short name in 2016. History of the Czechia Republic. Archaeologists have found evidence of prehistoric human settlements in the area, dating back to the Paleolithic era. The Venus of Dolnova Stanice, dated to 29,000 to 25,000 BCE, together with a few others from nearby locations, is the oldest known ceramic artifact in the world. In the Classical era, as a result of the 3rd century BC Celtic migrations, Bohemia became associated with the Boii. The Boii founded a city on the site of modern Prague. Some of its ancient ruins are now a tourist attraction. According to a 2000 study by Semino, 35.6% of Czechia males have Y chromosome haplogroup R1b, which is common among Celts but rare among Slavs. Some modern CZECHIAs claim that the people are as much descendants of the Boii as they are from the later Slavic invaders, as well as the historical Germanic peoples of Czechia lands. Later in the 1st century, the Germanic tribes of the Marcomanni and Quadi settled there. Their king Maroboduus is the first documented ruler of Bohemia. During the migration period around the 5th century, many Germanic tribes moved westwards and southwards out of Central Europe. Most of the names of Czechia rivers are Celtic or Old Germanic in origin, dating from usage in those years. Slavs from the Black Sea Carpathian region settled in the area. Their migration was pushed by an invasion of peoples from Siberia and Eastern Europe into their area, Huns, Avars, Bulgars and Magyars. In the 6th century, they moved westwards into Bohemia, Moravia, and some of present-day Austria and Germany. During the 7th century, the Frankish merchant Samo, supporting the Slavs fighting against nearby settled Avars, became the ruler of the first known Slavic state in Central Europe, Samo's empire. The Principality of Great Moravia, controlled by Mohamir dynasty, arose in the 8th century. It reached its zenith in the 9th during the reign of Svatopluk I of Moravia, holding off the influence of the Franks. Great Moravia was Christianized, with a crucial role being played by the Byzantine mission of Cyril and Methodius. They created the artificial language Old Church Slavonic, the first literary and liturgical language of the Slavs, and the Glagolitic alphabet. Geography of Czechia. The Czechia Republic lies mostly between latitudes 48 degrees and 51 degrees north, a small area lies north of 51 degrees, and longitudes 12 degrees and 19 degrees east. The Czechia landscape is exceedingly varied. Bohemia, to the west, consists of a basin drained by the Elbe, Czechia, Labe, and the Vltava rivers, surrounded by mostly low mountains, such as the Kirkenos range of the Sudetes. The highest point in the country, Snežka at 1,603 meters (5,259 feet), is located here. Moravia, the eastern part of the country, is also quite hilly. It is drained mainly by the Morava River, but it also contains the source of the Oder River, Czechia, Odra. Water from the landlocked Czechia Republic flows to 3 different seas, the North Sea, Baltic Sea and Black Sea. The Czechia Republic also leases the Moldhofen, a 30,000 square meter (7.4 acre) lot in the middle of the Hamburg docks, which was awarded to Czechoslovakia by Article 363 of the Treaty of Versailles, to allow the landlocked country a place where goods transported down river could be transferred to seagoing ships. The territory reverts to Germany in 2028. Phytogeographically, the Czechia Republic belongs to the Central European province of the Circumboreal region, within the Boreal Kingdom. According to the Worldwide Fund for Nature, the territory of the Czechia Republic can be subdivided into 4 ecoregions: the Western European broadleaf forests, Central European mixed forests, Pannonian mixed forests, and Carpathian montane conifer forests. There are 4 national parks in the Czechia Republic. The oldest is Krkonoš National Park Biosphere Reserve, and the others are Šumava National Park Biosphere Reserve, Podyjí National Park, Bohemian Switzerland. The 3 historical lands of the Czechia Republic, formerly the core countries of the Bohemian Crown, correspond almost perfectly with the river basins of the Elbe Czechia, Labe, and the Vltava Basin for Bohemia, the Morava one for Moravia, and the Oder River Basin for Czechia Silesia in terms of the Czechia territory. Climate in Czechia Republic. The Czechia Republic mostly has a temperate oceanic climate, with warm summers and cold, cloudy and snowy winters. The temperature difference between summer and winter is relatively high, due to the landlocked geographical position. Within the Czechia Republic, temperatures vary greatly, depending on the elevation. In general, at higher altitudes, the temperatures decrease and precipitation increases. The wettest area in the Czechia Republic is found around Bílý Podík in Jizera Mountains, and the driest region is the Louny district to the northwest of Prague. Another important factor is the distribution of the mountains, therefore, the climate is quite varied. At the highest peak of Sněžka, 1,603 meters or 5,259 feet, the average temperature is only -0.4 degrees Celsius (31 degrees Fahrenheit), whereas in the lowlands of the South Moravian region, the average temperature is as high as 10 degrees Celsius (50 degrees Fahrenheit). The country's capital, Prague, has a similar average temperature, although this is influenced by urban factors. The coldest month is usually January, followed by February and December. During these months, there is usually snow in the mountains and sometimes in the major cities and lowlands. During March, April, and May, the temperature usually increases rapidly, especially during April, when the temperature and weather tends to vary widely during the day. Spring is also characterized by high water levels in the rivers, due to melting snow with occasional flooding. The warmest month of the year is July, followed by August and June. On average, summer temperatures are about 20 degrees Celsius (36 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, 54 degrees Fahrenheit) higher than during winter. Summer is also characterized by rain and storms. Autumn generally begins in September, which is still relatively warm and dry. During October, temperatures usually fall below 15 degrees Celsius (59 degrees Fahrenheit) or 10 degrees Celsius (50 degrees Fahrenheit), and deciduous trees begin to shed their leaves. By the end of November, temperatures usually range around the freezing point. The coldest temperature ever measured was in Litvínov near České Budějovice in 1929, at -42.2 degrees Celsius (-44.0 degrees Fahrenheit), and the hottest measured was at 40.4 degrees Celsius (104.7 degrees Fahrenheit) in Dobrakovice in 2012. Most rain falls during the summer. Sporadic rainfall is relatively constant throughout the year. In Prague, the average number of days per month experiencing at least 0.1 mm (0.0039 in) of rain varies from 12 in September and October to 16 in November, but concentrated heavy rainfall days with more than 10 mm (0.39 in) per day are more frequent in the months of May to August, average around 2 such days per month. Severe thunderstorms, producing damaging straight-line winds, hail, and even occasional tornadoes occur, especially during the summer period. Environment in Czechia Republic. The Czechia Republic ranks as the 27th most environmentally conscious country in the world in Environmental Performance Index. The Czechia Republic has 4 national parks and 25 protected landscape areas. Government and politics in Czechia Republic. The Czechia Republic is a pluralist multi-party parliamentary representative democracy, with the president as head of state and prime minister as head of government. The parliament Parlament České republiky is bicameral, with the Chamber of Deputies Czechia Poslanecká sněmovna 200 members and the Senate Czechia Senát 81 members. The President is a formal head of state with limited and specific powers, most importantly to return bills to the Parliament, appoint members to the board of the Czechia National Bank, nominate Constitutional Court judges for the Senate's approval and dissolve the Chamber of Deputies under certain special and unusual circumstances. The President and Vice President of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President of the Republic. He also appoints the Prime Minister, as well the other members of the Cabinet on a proposal by the Prime Minister. From 1993 until 2012, the President of the Czechia Republic was selected by a joint session of the Parliament for a 5-year term, with no more than 2 consecutive terms, 2 ex Václav Havel, 2 ex Václav Klaus. Since 2013 the presidential election is direct. Miloš Zeman was the first directly elected Czechia president. The government of the Czechia Republic's exercise of executive power derives from the constitution. The members of the government are the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Ministers and other ministers. The government is responsible to the Chamber of Deputies. The Prime Minister is the head of government and wields considerable powers, such as the right to set the agenda for most foreign and domestic policy and choose government ministers. The current Prime Minister of the Czechia Republic is Andrej Babiš, serving since 6 December 2017 as the 12th Prime Minister. The members of the Chamber of Deputies are elected for a 4-year term by proportional representation, with a 5% election threshold. There are 14 voting districts, identical to the country's administrative regions. The Chamber of Deputies, the successor to the Czechia National Council, has the powers and responsibilities of the now-defunct Federal Parliament of former Czechoslovakia. The members of the Senate are elected in single-seat constituencies by 2-round runoff voting for a 6-year term, with 1/3 elected every even year in the autumn. The first election was in 1996, for differing terms. This arrangement is modeled on the U.S. Senate, but each constituency is roughly the same size and the voting system used as a 2-round runoff. Law in Czechia Republic. The Czechia Republic is a unitary state with a civil law system based on the continental type, rooted in Germanic legal culture. The basis of the legal system is the Constitution of the Czechia Republic adopted in 1993. The Penal Code is effective from 2010. A new civil code became effective in 2014. The court system includes district, county and supreme courts and is divided into civil, criminal, and administrative branches. The Czechia judiciary has a triumvirate of supreme courts. The Constitutional Court consists of 15 constitutional judges and oversees violations of the Constitution by either the legislature or by the government. The Supreme Court is formed of 67 judges and is the court of highest appeal for almost all legal cases heard in the Czechia Republic. The Supreme Administrative Court decides on issues of procedural and administrative propriety. It also has jurisdiction over many political matters, such as the formation and closure of political parties, jurisdictional boundaries between government entities, and the eligibility of persons to stand for public office. The Supreme Court and the Supreme Administrative Court are both based in Brno, as is the Supreme Public Prosecutor's Office. Military of Czechia Republic. The Czechia Armed Forces consist of the Czechia Land Forces, the Czechia Air Force and of specialized support units. The armed forces are managed by the Ministry of Defense. The President of the Czechia Republic is Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. In 2004 the Army transformed itself into a fully professional organization and compulsory military service was abolished. The country has been a member of NATO since 12 March 1999. Defense spending is approximately 1.19% of the GDP 2019. The armed forces are charged with protecting the Czechia Republic and its allies, promoting global security interests, and contributing to NATO. Currently, as a member of NATO, the Czechia military is participating in the Resolute Support and KFOR operations and have soldiers in Afghanistan, Mali, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, Egypt, Israel, and Somalia. The Czechia Air Force also served in the Baltic states and Iceland. The main equipment of the Czechia military includes JAS-39 Gripen multi-role fighters, Aero L-159 Alka combat aircraft, Mi-35 attack helicopters, armored vehicles Panzer II, OT-64, OT-90, BVP-2 and tanks T-72 and T-72M4CZ. Administrative divisions in Czechia Republic. Since 2000, the Czechia Republic has been divided into 13 regions: Czechia, Kraje, singular Kraj, and the capital city of Prague. Every region has its own elected regional assembly, Krajské zastupitelstvo, and hetman, a regional governor. In Prague, the assembly and presidential powers are executed by the city council and the mayor. The older 76 districts, okresy, singular okres, including 3 statutory cities without Prague, which had special status, lost most of their importance in 1999 in an administrative reform. They remain as territorial divisions and seats of various branches of state administration. Economy in Czechia Republic. The Czechia Republic has a developed, high-income export-oriented social market economy based in services, manufacturing, and innovation, that maintains a welfare state and the European social model. The Czechia Republic participates in the European single market as a member of the European Union, and is, therefore, a part of the economy of the European Union, but uses its own currency, the Czechia koruna, instead of the euro. It has a per capita GDP rate that is 91% of the EU average and is a member of the OECD. Monetary policy is conducted by the Czechia National Bank, whose independence is guaranteed by the constitution. The Czechia Republic ranks 13th in the UN Inequality Adjusted Human Development and 14th in World Bank Human Capital Index, ahead of countries such as the United States, the United Kingdom, and France. It was described by The Guardian as one of Europe's most flourishing economies. As of 2018, the country's GDP per capita at purchasing power parity is $37,370, similar to Israel, Italy or Slovenia, and $22,850 at nominal value. According to Allianz AG, in 2018 the country was an MWC mean wealth country, ranking 26th in net financial assets. The country experienced a 4.5% GDP growth in 2017, giving the Czechia economy one of the highest growth rates in the European Union. The 2016 unemployment rate was the lowest in the EU at 2.4%, and the 2016 poverty rate was the second lowest of OECD members, behind only Denmark. The Czechia Republic ranks 24th in both the Index of Economic Freedom and the Global Innovation Index as of 2016, 29th in the Global Competitiveness Report, 30th in the Ease of Doing Business Index and 25th in the Global Enabling Trade Report. The Czechia Republic has a highly diverse economy that ranks 7th in the 2016 Economic Complexity Index. The industrial sector accounts for 37.5% of the economy, while services account for 60% and agriculture for 2.5%. The largest trading partner for both export and import is Germany and the EU in general. Dividends worth 270 billion Czech korunas were paid to the foreign owners of Czechia companies in 2017, which has become a political issue in the Czechia Republic. The country has been a member of the Schengen area since 1 May 2004, having abolished border controls, completely opening its borders with all of its neighbors, Germany, Austria, Poland, and Slovakia, on 21 December 2007. The Czechia Republic became a member of the World Trade Organization on 1 January 1995. Tourist places in Czechia Republic. The Czechia economy gets a substantial income from tourism. Prague is the 5th most visited city in Europe after London, Paris, Istanbul, and Rome. In 2001, the total earnings from tourism reached 118 billion Czech korunas, making up 5.5% of GNP and 9% of overall export earnings. The industry employs more than 110,000 people, over 1% of the population. The country's reputation has suffered from guidebooks and tourists reporting overcharging by taxi drivers and pickpocketing problems mainly in Prague, though the situation has improved recently. Since 2005, Prague's mayor, Pavel Bem, has worked to improve this reputation by cracking down on petty crime and, aside from these problems, Prague is a safe city. Also, the Czechia Republic as a whole generally has a low crime rate. For tourists, the Czechia Republic is considered a safe destination to visit. The low crime rate makes most cities and towns very safe to walk around. One of the most visited tourist attractions in the Czechia Republic is the nether district Vítkovice in Ostrava, a post-industrial city in the east within the country. The territory was formerly the site of steel production, but now it hosts a technical museum with many interactive expositions for tourists. The Czechia Republic boasts 14 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. All of them are in the cultural category. As of 2018, further 18 sites are on the tentative list. The country is also known for its various museums. Puppetry and marionette exhibitions are very popular, with a number of puppet festivals throughout the country. Aquapalace Praha in Cestlice near Prague is the biggest water park in Central Europe. Demographics of Czechia Republic. The total fertility rate (TFR) in 2015 was estimated at 1.57 children born woman, which is below the replacement rate of 2.1, and one of the lowest in the world. The Czechia Republic subsequently has one of the oldest populations in the world, with an average age of 42.5 years. The life expectancy in 2013 was estimated at 77.56 years, 74.29 years male, 81.01 years female. Immigration increased the population by almost 1% in 2007. About 77,000 people immigrate to the Czechia Republic annually. Vietnamese immigrants began settling in the Czechia Republic during the communist period when they were invited as guest workers by the Czechoslovak government. In 2009, there were about 70,000 Vietnamese in the Czechia Republic. Most decide to stay in the country permanently. According to preliminary results of the 2011 census, the majority of the inhabitants of the Czechia Republic are CZECHIAs 63.7%, followed by Moravians 4.9%, Slovaks 1.4%, Poles 0.4%, Germans 0.2%, and Silesians 0.1%. As that nationality was an optional item, a substantial number of people left this field blank, 26.0%. According to some estimates, there are about 250,000 Romani people in the Czechia Republic. The Polish minority resides mainly in the Zaolzie region. There were 496,413, 4.5% of the population, foreigners residing in the country in 2016, according to the Czechia Statistical Office, with the largest groups being Ukrainian 22%, Slovak 22%, Vietnamese 12%, Russian 7%, German 4%, and from other countries 33%. Most of the foreign population lives in Prague 37.3% and Central Bohemia region 13.2%. The Jewish population of Bohemia and Moravia, 118,000 according to the 1930 census, was virtually annihilated by the Nazi Germans during the Holocaust. There were approximately 4,000 Jews in the Czechia Republic in 2005. The former Czechia Prime Minister, Jan Fischer, is of the Jewish faith. At the turn of the 20th century, Chicago was the city with the third largest Czechia population, after Prague and Vienna. According to the 2010 U.S. Census, there are 1,533,826 Americans of full or partial Czechia descent. Education in Czechia Republic. Education in the Czechia Republic is compulsory for 9 years and citizens to have access to tuition-free university education, while the average number of years of education is 13.1. Additionally, the Czechia Republic has a relatively equal educational system in comparison with other countries in Europe. Founded in 1348, Charles University was the first university in Central Europe. Other major universities in the country are Masaryk University, Czechia Technical University, Palacky University, Academy of Performing Arts and the University of Economics. And more universities in the Czechia Republic. The Program for International Student Assessment, coordinated by the OECD, currently ranks the Czechia education system as the 15th most successful in the world, higher than the OECD average. The UN Education Index ranks the Czechia Republic 10th as of 2013, positioned behind Denmark and ahead of South Korea. Health in Czechia Republic. Healthcare in the Czechia Republic is similar in quality to other developed nations. The The Czechia universal health care system is based on a compulsory insurance model, with fee-for-service care funded by mandatory employment-related insurance plans. According to the 2016 Euro Health Consumer Index, a comparison of healthcare in Europe, the Czechia healthcare is 13th, ranked behind Sweden and 2 positions ahead of the United Kingdom. Culture in Czechia Republic. Venus of Dolní Věstonice is the treasure of prehistoric art. Theodoric of Prague was the most famous Czechia painter in the Gothic era. For example, he decorated the castle Karlsten. In the Baroque era, the famous painters were Wenceslas Haller, Jan Kupecki, Karel Skreda, Anton Raphael Mengs or Petr Brandl, sculptors Matthias Braun and Ferdinand Brokoff. In the first half of the 19th century, Joseph Maines joined the Romantic movement. In the second half of the 19th century had the main say the so-called National Theatre generation, sculptor Joseph Václav Michel Beck and painters Michaelis Ailes, Václav Brozik, Wojciech Heine or Julius Marek. At the end of the century came a wave of Art Nouveau. Alphonse Mucha became the main representative. He is today the most famous Czechia painter. He is mainly known for Art Nouveau posters and his cycle of 20 large canvases named the Slav Epic, which depicts the history of CZECHIAs and other Slavs. As of 2012, the Slav Epic can be seen in the Velitrezny Palace of the National Gallery in Prague, which manages the largest collection of art in the Czechia Republic. Max Svabinsky was another important Art Nouveau painter. The 20th century brought an avant-garde revolution. In the Czechia lands mainly expressionist and cubist, Josef Kapik, Emil Fila, Bohumil Kubista, Jan Zerzaví. Surrealism emerged particularly in the work of Toyen, Josef Sima, and Karel Tage. In the world, however, he pushed mainly František Kupka, a pioneer of abstract painting. As illustrators and cartoonists in the first half of the 20th century gained fame Josef Lada, Zdeněk Burian or Emil Orlik. Art photography has become a new field, František Diartikal, Josef Sudik, later Jan Sadek or Josef Kodelka. The Czechia Republic is known worldwide for its individually made, mouth-blown and decorated Bohemian glass. Sports in Czechia Republic. Sports play a part in the life of many Czechs, who are generally loyal supporters of their favorite teams or individuals. The 2 leading sports in the Czechia Republic are ice hockey and football. The most watched events in the Czechia Republic are Olympic ice hockey tournaments and the Ice Hockey World Championships. Tennis is also a very popular sport in the Czechia Republic. The many other sports with professional leagues and structures include basketball, volleyball, team handball, track and field athletics, and floorball. The country has won 14 gold medals in summer and 5 gold medals in Winter Olympic history. Czechia Hockey School has a good reputation. The Czechia ice hockey team won the gold medal at the 1998 Winter Olympics and has won 12 gold medals at the World Championships, including 3 straight from 1999 to 2001. Former NHL superstars Jaromír Jágr and Dominik Hasek are among the best-known Czechia hockey players of all time, as well as current Czechia NHL star David Pastrňák of the Boston Bruins. Sport is a source of strong waves of patriotism, usually rising several days or weeks before an event. The events considered the most important by Czechia fans are, the Ice Hockey World Championships, Olympic Ice Hockey Tournament, UEFA European Football Championship, UEFA Champions League, FIFA World Cup and qualification matches for such events. In general, any international match of the Czechia ice hockey or football national team draws attention, especially when played against a traditional rival. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, click on like button. If you want to watch more videos like this, click on the subscription button below, it's free subscription.